Hello, everybody. Hi. I'm Luke Chow, Student Body Prime Minister. This is my speech. Students of Shoreline Community College, today, you have partaken in a momentous and unprecedented event in the history of the school. Never has there been a time as challenging as these, and never has there been a greater calling. Now I'm sure everyone here today is wondering why it is us that has to suffer through all this, why we have to deal with these predicaments. And I too have these same feelings and frustrations. But I, however, also see this as an opportunity. In our history, only a few generations have been given the honor and privilege of defending the rights and opportunities of the people in a time of incredible hardship. Today, we have been chosen, and we should not turn our backs. One must only keep his or her eyes and ears open to notice that today we live in a daunting time of great unrest, and people have grown sick and weary. Our generation is calling us to action, and we must answer it. In the past, students have been the catalyst for change in the country. It is now the time to take upon this role again. So who will go? Who will stand up? It only takes a mirror to realize that the change you're looking for, the leader you're looking for, is you. It is within you. You have the power to create a difference, and you are the only person that is stopping you. Our main opponents are not in Olympia. Our most formidable and deadly opponents are ourselves. We have been beaten down by our ignorance, by our apathy, by our lack of duty and social responsibility. Our past silence is now screaming back into our ears. But I'm not going to accept that. We are not going to accept that. We need to realize that we are the answer to our own problems. Now, there may be many reasons why you're here today. Maybe some of you are truly concerned about your educational opportunities and your ability to pursue your dreams and aspirations. Maybe your teachers brought you here. And maybe you don't care or understand what's going on at all, and you're simply here for some extra credit points. But whatever reasons have brought you here, the most important thing is, you are here. I believe there's a reason for everything. And today, you have been armed and equipped with the knowledge and the ability and the opportunity to stand up and speak up for this generation. Like it or not, you are all officially leaders of the student movement. So whether you acknowledge and use the capabilities you have attained is completely up to you. Again, you have the power. The world is a lot more moldable than you think it is. It is only waiting for you to sculpt it. Now I understand that it is incredibly hard to comprehend the magnitude and urgency of these cuts. But after today, if you still see nothing, if you still think that everything is fine as it is, then let this moment pass. But if you feel what I feel, if you see what I see, if you want what I want, if you desire to be a part of something greater than yourselves, to be the light in the darkness, to be the voice that breaks the silence, then let us remember this moment and act upon the fervor and passion that is welling up within us. Former President Abraham Lincoln, one of the greatest leaders of this country, was once quoted in saying that the philosophy of the schoolroom in one generation will be the philosophy of the government in the next. Let our lawmakers not forget who they represent and who they are serving. And let us not forget that tomorrow will only shine as bright as the fire that is burning within us. Students of Shoreline Community College, let us join together and answer the call.
Thank you, Luke. I would like to introduce you Keith McGashan. He is the mayor of Shoreline City. He will be here to talk to you about the budget cut.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for being here and inviting me to speak. Before I speak, though, I got to get one thing out of the way, so bear with me. I need a Facebook picture for later. You can all smile or wave. Thank you very much. My grandson will be very happy. I wanted to just take a moment and tell you about how important Shoreline Community College is to the city of Shoreline. We partner with them a lot. They are, of course, training individuals to hopefully go into our work programs or our careers we have here in Shoreline. And all of you also add to our economy with the purchases you make, of course. That's what we like, is those sales tax dollars. Shoreline for years has been known for its education values. Individuals, families have been moving to Shoreline for the Shoreline School District for decades. Shoreline Community College, we partner with them, like their brown bag lunch program that we do through the city and in partnership with Shoreline Community College to help our business community to get out and learn new business driving techniques. We find that that's very, very important. It's been very, very successful. The economy we're in now, of course, not only us as a city are worried about the financial cuts we're going to be taking, but we're really concerned about the education cuts. We need to educate our future peoples. And with the cuts that are looming above us for this legislative session, this could be a big problem, as you well know, and as you have all heard. When I walked into the building today, it was so impressive to feel the buzz that was going on throughout the building. I went through a couple of the rooms, sat in on a couple of the sessions, and it's very impressive that to be told and to find out that this is all student driven. It's so impressive that you guys are out there fighting for what you feel is right. So we want to keep that. Now, I won't take much of your time, I promise, but the one thing I did want to say is, through the many Shoreline School Foundation breakfasts that I've attended, the one thing that moves people the most is to hear the individual stories of students. So while you're out up on the hill, or you're writing emails, or you're writing letters, and please do write letters, write emails, calls, and do go up on the hill when you get a chance, when that rally happens. Be sure to somehow tell your personal stories, because there's many, many personal stories in this room, and they are very moving stories. We've met people that have come off the streets and gotten foundation support dollars to attend classes and have progressed not only to a foot in the door to a job, but some of them started careers. So be sure you are adding into all that your personal stories. Also, with the budget cuts between cities and schools, the staff at City Hall, particularly our city manager, Julie Underwood, she was a little concerned about what's going to happen with education, particularly in Shoreline. So on November 30th, between 6:30 and 8:30 p.m., the city is hosting a State of Education, I guess you'd call it a summit, maybe, where we're going to have the president of the college, Dr. Lee Lambert, and the superintendent of Shoreline Schools. Her name just slipped my mind. What's her name? Sue Walker. God, I can't believe it. I'm embarrassed. Don't tell your parents I just did that. They'll be there giving the kind of state of their districts and their college. and then opening it up to the community for questions. So be sure to tell your families they're welcome to attend. Everybody's welcome to attend. It should be a very good night on just feeling where we are with the state of education in the city of Shoreline. So again, I want to thank you all for being here and just being as energetic as you are. And remember, on the 30th, be sure you get on those buses and get to Olympia, because there's nothing that impacts, not the 30th, I'm sorry, that's our 28th. Don't get on the wrong bus on the wrong day, please. But that's what we see when we go to Olympia. We go every year during the session and talk with our legislators on our priorities for the city. And to be there face to face with them is very impactful. And do be sure to tell your own stories. So, and before I went, I have a supporter here with me. I wanted to introduce Doris McConnell. She's on our city council. She's over here. And we just keep on just to show that the city supports the college fully, and we will do everything we can to support the college, including while we're down lobbying for our interests as a city. We will be talking to our legislatures also about funding for community college schools. So again, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the program, and just thank you for doing what you do.
Thank you, Mayor, for giving that speech. And next, I'd like to welcome Madeline McKenna. She was last year's former student body president of the University of Washington and is a representative of the Rob McKenna campaign for governor.
Hello, students of Shoreline Community College. Thank you so much for inviting me to participate in this rally. It's really commendable to see so many students that have turned out because you care deeply about your education and because we are all in this fight together to preserve public funding for our higher education system in this state. As Byrne mentioned, I served as the student body president at the University of Washington last year, and on behalf of students at 4 universities in our state, I wanted to say that they're with you in this fight to preserve funding for our education and for financial aid programs that make education accessible. You're here because you want a better life for you and for your families. Many of you I know will go on to transfer to the University of Washington and to maybe WSU, I'll forgive you. But community colleges are an integral part of the higher education ecosystem in our state, and they need to be funded just as well as four-year universities so that students of all backgrounds can have the education and the opportunities that you deserve to make a better life for yourself. So thank you for being engaged in that cause, and the University of Washington students look forward to working you through this legislative session on those issues. After graduating this past June, I went to work for the Rob McKenna for Governor campaign. Rob's my dad, but I'm not working for him because of that. I'm working for him because of his stance on higher education. He gets it. He gets how important higher education is to the future of our state. And whether you're a Republican or Democrat, really, higher education is a bipartisan issue, and I encourage you to look at both candidates for governor for 2012 when you're making your decision in that race. So we have a short video that's some excerpts of his speeches that he's given on higher education. So he'd love to deliver that message to you all. And as we get closer to 2012, I encourage you again to look at both candidates. This is his perspective on the issue, and I encourage you to stay engaged as we get to that critical election next year. So thank you again for inviting me to be here, and I will let my dad do the talking. Thank you.
My volunteer activities and leadership roles in student government were really formative in helping me to prepare for community service and public service, including my role today. And they'll affect how I operate as governor as well.
But in the long run, I really believe the most powerful step that we can take to make our state economically competitive, in fact, world-class competitive, is to develop the best public schools in America and to create the highest quality, most accessible higher education system in America as well. Washington State was humiliated by its poor showing in President Obama's race to the top competition. We have some of the greatest thinkers in America when it comes to improving public education, yet we're not even in the race when it comes to education and innovation and improvement. We now rank 48th in America in the number of bachelor's degrees we're producing per capita. Employers are importing a huge number of degree holders they need, both with undergraduate degrees and advanced degrees. And I have to tell you, I don't have any problem with people who want to come here to work for our great companies doing so, bringing their college education and graduate school education with them. You know, but don't you think we ought to be preparing our own kids for those jobs? I had breakfast with the Dean of Engineering this morning from the UW. He talked about how they just don't have enough slots to meet the incredible demand for engineering education in our state. And we also talked about the fact that something like 19,000 Boeing engineers are scheduled to retire between now and the year 2015. Are we going to provide that education opportunity for our kids and our adults who are returning to school to take those jobs? We have to, it seems to me. The fact is, Washington State ought to be a national leader when it comes to education innovation. When I was student body president at the University of Washington, higher education accounted for 16% of state spending. Daughter Madeline is president of the student body this year at the University of Washington, and state support amounts to a little over 8%. What does that tell you about the priorities of the people who've been making the decisions at the governor's mansion and in the legislature for that entire period of time? That the people of Washington have not been stingy when it comes to supporting and investing in education for our children. Since 1980, they've doubled the amount they spend in taxes on public education, and that's in real dollars, not in inflated dollars. They might be willing to invest more. In fact, I'm convinced they would invest more if they thought they would see better results for their money instead of higher dropout rates and weak test scores. In exchange for increasing higher education share, our colleges and universities need to uphold their end of the bargain. They need to provide the classes that students need to graduate on time and the degrees to compete for the jobs in the sectors where the demand is greatest. I want to propose a 50-50 deal. What that would mean is that we would get back to where the state would provide at least 50% of the cost of an undergraduate education, and the students and their families would provide the other 50%. We can't afford to increase access to higher education and to produce the number of bachelor's and advanced degrees that we need using the same old model. Whether it includes online education or not, I think the expansion of our university's branch campuses is also key, as is giving our community colleges more opportunities to offer four-year degrees. We need more higher education everywhere in the state. Colleges and universities should also innovate. They need to embrace online education as part of the mix of education opportunities. I'm very struck by the fact that one of the largest transfer institutions, one of the largest institutions in terms of community college students transferring in our state, is the University of Phoenix, a private, for-profit, online school that is attracting huge numbers of community college Associate of Arts degrees holders who want to finish their BAs. That should tell us something. Our colleges and universities need to listen and respond to that kind of demand. And we can do that provided the state restores its commitment to the people of the state to provide access to higher education.
Tis. Okay. Thank you, I would like to thank you, Madeline McKenna. You have.
We get to ask her a couple of questions about her dad.
Can you?
We'd like to know where he stands on the taxing our most wealthy citizens in Washington and taxing our corporations. We're glad we ought to hear a little bit about democracy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Where does he stand on taxing the most wealthy Washingtonians and our corporations like Amazon and Boeing and Starbucks? Where?
He thinks that there should be more relief for small businesses, like, for example, in the partnerships and failed last year, has provision that would provide at least 2,000 small businesses by increasing the threshold for the business occupation tax, which is a huge burden on small businesses, which are the largest creators of jobs.
That's not what I'm asking. Where does he stand on taxing the most wealthy Washingtonians and corporations?
Support people who are trying to make them up with their small businesses. He doesn't think that an income tax like 1098 is provision of a tax people of opportunity is the right direction for the state of this time. It's not the way to stimulate growth. Economic growth and job creation comes from small businesses, and that's what we need to focus our.
Thank you. I got my answer.
Since there was so much, I heard some good suggestions in the advertisement about solutions for our school, but I didn't hear you talk about how it's going to happen or how he proposes to make those solutions a reality.
So he's proposing, as you heard in the video, a 50-50 deal for our students, 50-50 deal for our, oh, it's on. There we go. So restoring the situation where 50% of a student's education is picked up by the state and 50% is covered by students and their families. Currently, we're at about a 30 to 70 ratio, where students and their families pay the vast majority of the cost to attend a higher education institution.
So where's that?
That funding comes from shifting state priorities and spending. So we've seen the state budget grow, but education is getting a smaller piece of ever decreasing slice of that pie. We need to devote more state resources, not less, to education, both K through 12 and higher ed, as the pie grows.
Does your dad agree with the regressive tax system that
I think she suggests that if you have any questions, you can come and ask her after this. You need to move on the agenda, but I understand that you may have questions, and she is here. She will be here. You can come and ask the question. I would like to thank to Madeline McKenna and Rob McKenna to give speech about budget cut and their standpoint on the state funding. Next, I would like to move on to the open mic and discussion time. If you have, we will have Professor Winspan. He's gonna show us a video about how the budget cut impact immigrant students, ESL students, those students who are not able to understand English or they are not able to speak English well, how the ESL program have helped them, and if there is a budget cut, it's gonna directly impact this program, and we have a really good video to show you.
I'm Vince Barnes. I teach ESL here, that's English as a Second Language. I've been teaching here 24 years. I see this as an emergency. I've never seen anything like it. The group of students I'm going to be talking about are our ESL students who are residents, students, immigrants, and refugees. Don't worry, international students, your classes will not be cut. Maybe you're not so. Before I continue, I want to say, and once again, thank student government. They've done a fantastic job. They've seen the moment they're in history and stepped up. It's fantastic. For various reasons that I can't go into due to time, the ESL classes for resident immigrant students are being targeted around, not just at Shoreline, but the state. And we have to understand what that means. What will be lost if these classes are cut? This short video will give you a little bit of a sample of that, but it's really far bigger than that. This is a video of a former student here at Shoreline. Basically, he will tell his own story through the video. I won't add anything else to that, so let's just start the video. And Andy, is that ready to roll?
Good afternoon. Could you please tell us your name and where you're from, and when you started studying English?
Well, my name is Ignacio Sanchez, and I from Mexico. I started taking ESL classes in 1993 here at Shoreline Community College. I got my AA degree from here, from Shoreline Community College. And then I moved to Western Washington University to get my BA in Spanish. And after I finished my degree from Western Washington University, I moved to San Diego State University to get my MA in Latin American Literature.
And after you got your MA at San Diego State, what else did you do there, and what have you been doing since then?
In San Diego, while I was studying, getting my MA, I was teaching Spanish, and I taught there for 2 years. I got my MA in Latin American Literature in San Diego. I moved back to Washington, and I got my, I started working for Bellevue College teaching Spanish. And I was teaching Spanish at Bellevue College for 6 years. And now I'm working at Highland Creek College teaching Spanish as well.
Ignacio, thinking back to your time when you first came to Shoreline, what did you find here when you came that helped you in this incredible process of your life?
Well, my first class, my first school that I attended was at Shoreline Community College to study ESL classes. And I took ESL level 0. That was the first level. And it helped me a lot because I didn't know any English. And here at Shoreline helps me a lot how to read and write English. And I was taking all the classes, the ESL classes that you guys offer. And it helps me a lot, improve my life. Now I know how to communicate with people. I still have my accent, but at least I can communicate with people. And the classes that you guys offer here are amazing. They really, really help me. And also, in this college we have a different culture, people from different countries. It helps us to learn the culture from different countries and open your mind to see out there. And it helps a lot, and I really enjoy it.
Ignacio, do you ever think if there had been no Shoreline Community College and no ESL program, what would have happened to you?
I couldn't be in the position where I am right now. So let's imagine if we didn't have a Shoreline, or let's say if we have a Shoreline but not ESL classes, that will be a big disadvantage for me, because we can have a book at home that you can read yourself, but you need a teacher to teach you, to explain the grammar, to explain all the questions that you have. If we don't have, let's say, if we didn't have classes like Shoreline, I couldn't study. So if I have a question like what is a verb or what is an adjective, who going to be answering those questions? No one. And I think if we didn't have like those classes, like ESL classes, I couldn't move. I couldn't change the lifestyle. I couldn't improve. And now I look back and I say, well, Shoreline did a really wonderful job, amazing job, because of the classes that they offer. Now, if we didn't have those classes, I couldn't move, and I couldn't give to the society, give it back to the society. Now I helping another student, like the professor at Shoreline. They were helping me in 1990, 1994. Now I'm helping back. I give it back to the community.
Well, thank you very much for coming to talk with us today.
You're welcome.
I just want to say a couple more things. One, this is one voice out of 10,000. There are 10,000 people who have similar experience to Ignacio, who came through our programs, which helped them get ahead. And I would hate to see that the next 10,000 don't have the opportunity. I want you to remember these students when you go out to advocate their hidden voices. Sometimes they're not ready or don't know how to speak for themselves. When you go to Olympia and you're arguing against tuition increases, please argue for these students also. They're part of the fabric of our society. Thank you.
Before we move on to the open mic period, I'd just like to state that we, as student government, did reach out to both parties of the campaign, the Jay Inslee campaign for governor, but they neglected to show up. The people who did show up were the Rob McKenna campaign. So before you ask questions that Madeline may not be able to answer, please put that into context, that they did make an effort.
And now it's time you apply what you have learned throughout your academic years, and you learn what you learned throughout the advocacy workshop this morning. If you would like to share your opinion with the audience, I would like you to come up here and say something. Is anyone interested to come up here and say your opinion about the budget cut in higher education? Thank you.
It's good to be up here on the mic. It's about time. My name is Steve. I'm happily unemployed. I'm a 99%er. I'm a DECA. I'm Phi Beta Kappa, and I'm mad. So, a few weeks back, student leadership got up here, and you guys did a bang-up job for about an hour, telling us about the cuts. And Mr. Lambert was up here, and he spoke about what's going to happen. It's already happened. Okay. That happened this year at UW. They raised tuition something to the tune of 18 to 20%. We're being reactive to a situation that's going to require us to do something now. Okay, we can't wait for another 6 months to do a vote, but there's other ways to raise revenue. Okay, we need to raise revenue, cut expenses. That's a simple business term that has been drilled into my mind for the last 2 years. And hopefully I'll stay for another third year just to torture some more of you. But the thing is, we need to raise some rates around here. And I apologize if I don't speak for everybody, but If the state can't help us, then damn it, we gotta help ourselves, okay? I'm sorry, but SSNA rates are at, what, $6 or $7.65, and the state average is $9. Why don't we bump it up to the state average, okay? Let's share some of that cost that's needed to keep our programs here. Tuition, things like that. Some of these rates may need to be raised, and whether you're domestic or international, we're all global. It is not just our problem here at SCC. This is about us taking the initiative to do something for ourselves that some other people or companies, corporations, states, nations are not going to be able to do for us. So we need to be proactive, and we're going to go down to Olympia, and we're going to walk the Capitol, and we're going to have our voice heard. But being everybody in this room right now, your voices are heard. I encourage you to not just talk amongst yourselves, but to talk amongst everybody. And thank you all for your time and for being here, and for the student body for putting on this event, for all the teachers, all the staff here that did these clinics and all these shows around here. You guys, you all came together, and that's what we need to keep on doing, is coming together. So thank you all for being here, and cheers.
Does anyone else want to come up here? Yes.
Hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth Hansen, and I've been a professor here since 1992, and I teach the ESL students. I love my job. I'm really wanting to encourage all of you to go to Olympia November 28th. I have a little bit of a different message I'd like you to take. Ask our representatives how this happened. This did not, the US and Europe are in a similar situation. This did not happen by accident, this economic crisis. This isn't an, oops, sorry, we don't have revenue. You need to figure out on your own why this happened, because if we know the reasons for a problem, it leads us to solutions. Thank you.
We have time for 2 more people. Yes.
So I would like to encourage all of you guys to contact your state representatives, both your state senators and your representatives from the House. They will listen to you. They're local. You can get them on the phone, through email, and someone said earlier about talking about some personal stories. That's the kind of thing that will really get people in the state legislature to get on board with helping to save some education funding for our school. But they may tell you that we need to make some really tough choices in our state, and that things are getting cut. There's a lot of healthcare stuff. They're afraid if we cut the healthcare, people might die, stuff like that. I mean, it's pretty bad. It's getting pretty bad in the state legislature. But there are other options. Right now, we are giving $100 million a year in state tax breaks to Wall Street banks. And we only need an additional $4 million to fund the school. The revenue is there. People who make over $200,000 a year are only paying a tax rate of 2.7%. And people in the lowest tax bracket are paying 17% of their income in taxes. The tax revenue is there. We just need to find it. We need to be willing to stand up and say, stop giving $100 million to Wall Street banks when you're destroying our education. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Event Nov. As you can see, I'm an international student, and I just came here. This is my 4th quarter, and I don't know if this is a good luck or bad luck for me to just came here and there's a budget cut and I need to pay more for my tuition. But I just noticed that many of our international students don't like to speak or to voice for themselves, like, because English is my second language and maybe it's a little hard for me to communicate with other people and speak for ourselves. But I don't think international students need to keep silence or just sit there and listen to other people talk. And I think we need to speak for ourselves. Stand here and speak to in front all of you, because maybe you think, oh, it's a little weird for international students speaking English to make some mistakes like that. But yeah, I just want to stand here and talk to all of you and let me know what international students think about that. And we need to, and we want to join you, and we want to do something for our own self, for budget cut and get a better education, and like don't pay more tuition like we already for like 3 times than domestic student. Yeah, we pay a lot. So that's what I have to say here. Thank you.
All right. Is there anyone else who wants to? Yes.
I just want to bring up a very important point that I heard one of my classmates bring up right before the governor was speaking. She was saying that we need to have follow through. So I just want to tell everybody to remember, that after we go to Olympia, it's not over. We have to keep this momentum going. And once we do have what we have, let's keep it there. That's the key. So.
Yeah, my name's Evan, and I'm a zero energy student here at Shoreline. I feel like my generation has been wanting this. I can project my voice. I feel like my generation has been anticipating this movement for a long time, and has felt somewhat disempowered with the way that our government has come to be versus what it used to stand for and what it used to be based upon. In continuing with sort of the message that has gone on, I'd like to remind my fellow American citizens that we are not powerless. Get together, do it. Come together, use the information that you've gotten today to make a change. I would also like to say that it is very valid that the international students pay a lot more money for their education than we do. They are a very important part of our economy. They are very important contributors to our society. They live here whether they're citizens or not. They have a great impact, and I would love to further empower all of you to help this system change. I think that we need to ask our legislators what happened to the $1.4 trillion that has been injected into our economy in the past 2 years. The Fed has effectively tripled the amount of money in circulation in the past 3 years. That means there was 800 billion American dollars in the financial system in 2008 when it crashed. They then came forward and asked for 700 billion, almost doubling the amount of money in circulation. Where is it? Then Obama came along and injected another 700 billion into the economy. Where is it? Where the hell is it? Stand up and fight.
want to tell you guys to go to Olympia at November 28th. Like, for example, when your friends owe you $5, you will come and tell your friends like, hey, where's my $5? When you go to McDonald's, if when you buy 2 burgers, they only give you 1 burger, you'll fight for your burger. And that's only for $2, $5. But this time, our tuition has been increased for, I don't know how many percent, but it's like few thousands you have to pay. And if you don't fight for it, why would you fight for the burger?
Hey guys, I'm also an international student from Taiwan. Like, we pay tuition for our future, for our dream. But, like, where the money goes, do you guys know, like, we are here for our future, for higher education, not for higher tuition.
Yeah.
Afternoon, everyone. Point to make in terms of writing our legislators, I recommend we focus our attention on the education committees, both Senate and House, because they decide things before it comes to the floor. So if we can get their focus there, we can get the focus before it reaches the whole floor. So I know Paul Shin, the vice chair in the Senate, has taught at college. So that's the Senate vice chair. So write the education committees besides your local representatives. Thank you.
My name's Monica Dardis. I'm a future educator and a student here at Shoreline. I just wanted to say that I'm taking an economics class right now with T-Pain, and we were discussing how a large portion of our tax revenue is raised through sales tax, and we have 0% income tax. If you compare that and educate yourself to the rest, in comparison to the rest of the country, there's a problem with that. If we had an income tax, it would create a lot of solutions to the deficits that we have now. And also, I wanted to just say that I think that we should use the rainy day fund, because if this isn't a rainy day, then I don't know what is. But that's all I wanted to say.
Corporate tax loophole.
Hello, everybody. I just wanted to go on that same state of mind and just remind people that some of our cuts are going to come out of education no matter what. So while we're out there fighting for our education money, remember that that also affects our social service money, which also affects a lot of students and adults who come to this school and higher education. So just remember that you're doing social service or education. Keeping that in mind, I would just like everybody to go to our rally on November 28th and bring solutions. Don't just ask what our government is going to present as solutions, bring our own solutions. So just keep that in mind while you're asking for what you want. Ask for ways you can get it and present ways that you think you can get it. So we're not just going to go there and ask for things or demand things, but let's bring our own solutions to the table as well, keeping in mind that we are going to have to take some of the cuts. We are going to have to absorb some of that financial effect on us with our own money, inevitably, or we're going to risk social services. So just keep in mind that one of those goes no matter what. Be willing to absorb some of the costs and be willing to bring your own solutions to the table.
Yo, what's up? Only community college students, nice to see all of you guys around here. So I'm taking economy class just like you, right? I'm in class, and before taking the class, I was thinking, well, everybody pay the same tax, right? Everybody pay the same income tax, the property tax, and any kind of tax like that. But after taking the class, and there's something called loopholes. What's that? And my teacher keep telling us, well, loopholes is what the way you can keep away from paying your tax. Well, I want something like that. I do want something like that, but we can't. I mean, now the economy is going so bad, and we're not paying our tax. All I heard there's corporation, they're not paying their tax and still earn money every single year. What? I mean, they're not paying it, they're earning money from the tax, from our money. Why is that happening? I'm just asking, please, the Senate or all our legislation, those people can think about cutting those loopholes from the corporation.
Hello. So, as it's been stressed repeatedly, ignorance is not a good thing, and I, for one, am very ignorant about a lot of the local, national, or various other issues. So don't be afraid to ask people. There are people lined up all over there. Ask them, ask your friends, whoever.
You can ask me. I've been studying this 3 hours a day for 3 years ever since the banks fell.
Please ask her. She knows what's up. Googling something really quick for 5 minutes. It only takes a few minutes a day. I don't have TV, so that's my resort, and it's fairly effective.
Alright, I think it's time. I just would like to remind you that Madeline McKenna, she's still here. If you would like to talk to her in person, you are welcome to. And finally, I would like to tell you that I would like to say something during the open mic too. First, I would like to tell you that I'm an international student too. And second, I'm the student body president. You may ask why I'm working so hard on this, because I know that everyone deserves the right to education. Yeah. I attend the ESL workshop, Hidden Voice, ESL student budget cut. Some students, they're not even be able to speak English very well, but their program is going to be cut, and how the college is gonna support them, they're gonna change the program to online classes. What do you think about online classes for students who cannot speak or even understand English? It's not college problem, it's the problem from the state or corporation who we need to speak up and tell everyone that cutting funding on higher education is not the right thing to do, because it's going to affect society in long term. And with only small group of students, our voice is not going to be heard as loud as all of you here stand up together and come with us, join student rally on November 28th. We're going to go down to rally in Olympia, and we're going to get our voice heard. If you would like to join, I would like to let you know that it's first come, first serve system. You can go to www.chorlai.edu/sba/edu. www.chorlai.edu/sba/budget cut with no S. And you can go to get involved, and there is a link that you can sign up. And I would like to thank everyone for coming, and we're not going to stop advocating for higher education this quarter. In winter quarter, we have civic program that we're going to continue advocating for higher education. I'm going to meet with student body president and student government at other college in Washington State, and we will discuss how we can unite and stand up, speak up for higher education together. I'm sure that next quarter we're going to have support from other colleges, and we're going to get our voice heard together. I would like to thank you all for coming today. I hope you learn a lot of things and apply Grab for education.